Good morning. This is John from the Springs Mennonite Church, and I'm happy to be with you today. Here it's a Tuesday, and this week I'm just sharing some random scriptures to encourage you in your walk with God and your daily life. Today I want to share from the book of Philippians. Now, Philippians is a little book in the New Testament that Paul writes to probably while he's in prison. And he's writing to the church at Philippi and giving them some ideas and instructions. The church is a newer church and it's just beginning. He wants it to grow into something really strong. And so the book is filled with all kind of practical words, practical ideas. And today I want to read one of them from the first chapter, verse 9, and a bit of verse 10. And it reads this way: I pray that your love will overflow more and more, and that you will keep growing in knowledge and understanding. For I want you to understand what really matters. Let's look at this sort of in reverse. Paul says, I want you to understand what really matters. Now think about that. For you, what really matters? What is it that you would stand up and fight for your life over? Well, when I was younger, there were a lot of things I thought I needed to fight over. As I got older, I discovered that, well, some of them weren't quite worth fighting about. Now, I don't mean physical fighting, but causes and ideas and notions and how things should go. A lot of people raise their kids and they know what to do, but then they find out by the second or third one, they really didn't know what they were doing. So, in life, we have a lot of things to learn. So Paul is saying, I want you to know what really matters. Now, years ago, when I was teaching at the University of Kentucky, I had a student, I don't remember the context of it, but I had this student who got up talking about his life, and he said, for me, golf is all that matters. And I probed that thought a little bit. Nobody had ever said that to me, and I'm not a golfer, so I can't appreciate the attraction maybe of the sport, though I understand it would be good exercise. It's a challenge and that sort of thing. But he went on to say that as he was growing up, his dad gave him the choice. He could either go to church, or this is a Sunday, or he could go play golf with him. And he said, I chose to play golf, and I have learned that golf is what's really important in life. Well, as a professor and as a pastor, I didn't want to challenge his beliefs. He certainly had the right to have his own beliefs, and so do you. I don't know what's most important to you, but you have a right to think that. But what I thought about and have thought about all these years is that his father told him that what the church has to offer is not nearly as good as what golf has to offer. Now, that strikes me as a little bit strange. But yet, when you look at your life, what do you think is the most important? When I grew up, my parents basically told me, my family told me, that money was the most important thing. I, that's just how I was told, how I was raised. I didn't believe it, and I certainly don't believe it now. But that's what my family basically did. Everything revolved around money. In fact, one day, many years later, one of my aunts said, John, why does everything in this family have to revolve around money? And I said, well, Helen, that's because it always has. You see, we learn pretty early what's most important in our lives. And then if we decide that's not satisfactory, we have to change it. And that's hard to do. So Paul gives us a way to change it. And he does it in the first part of the verse. I pray that your love will overflow more and more, and that you will keep on growing in knowledge and understanding. Well, knowledge and understanding of what? Well, of God, of his actions. The more we know about God, the more we understand about how he wants us to live, the better we can live with love towards others. Because what Paul's saying here is what really matters is that your love overflows more and more. Now, back up again, and I'll say you can see it any way you want to. That's your choice. But for me, things are nice, and I have a lot of things, but they don't define me. Faith gets upset with me because I get most of my clothes over the internet. I'm tired of going to stores. The problem with doing that is sometimes they don't fit. And sometimes I'll send them back. And other times I'll just donate them to the clothing place. Well, Faith thinks that's kind of goofy. And maybe you do too, and you certainly can think that. But from my standpoint, what I figure I'm doing is I have the ability to buy some new things that afterwards I decide I don't like, so I'll share them with someone else instead of getting a refund. God has blessed me so that I can do that. Maybe you can. I canceled a state farm policy the other day, and the lady said, well, I'll make it retroactive, which was a couple of days. She said, after all, every penny helps. And I said, well, okay. And that's true. Every penny helps. But that's not what's most important. What's most important is what Paul said here, that our love for others overflows more and more. And how do we do that? By increasing our knowledge and understanding of God. So I invite you to try that. Think about it. Even if you don't think God has anything to do with your life, well, think about it anyway. I mean, humor me. What do you got to lose? As we learn more and more about God, he changes more and more of our life. And I kind of think that's really what's most important. Well, thank you for listening. Hope you have a great day. If you have a need or a concern we can help you with, let us know. We'll do whatever we can as fast as we can. Now, I'll be back tomorrow, have another thought with another scripture. So I just want to wish you, God bless you. I'll see you again.